Konnichiwa, everybody, and welcome here to Twin Ring Motegi, Japan, as we're getting set for our 21st race of the season for the Monster Energy Series. For those, excuse you, that came out of nowhere, but anyway, we're here in Twin Ring Motegi, which is in Japan. We're on the other side of the country, or other side of the world, as we're getting for our 4 races of 20 laps each. 20 laps means fuel mileage is not going to be an issue here in today's race. Ricky Cervantes starts on the pole position. Then we have Diego Marquez and then Nick Voiles in the 810. This will be his last start, and Marco Diaz in the 09. Here's a look at the points entering Twin Ring Motegi. This track is identical to Darlington, so we'll see what kind of good racing we'll have. The command has already been given. These drivers will roll off behind the Dodge Charger pace car. And here are the points going into today's race. For the first time in a while, Katsuro Mirmoez took the points lead from Brittany White. Katsuro has a 20-point lead over Brittany White, who's second. Ari Springer is third, 105 points back. Valentina Fernandez, 127 points back. She is fourth in the standings. Bridget Thomas is fifth in the points, 176 back. That's Audra Baranowskis, Betty Johnson, Brian Gomez, Henry Williams, and Mandry Campbell. That complete top 10. 8 of the top 10 have been to victory lane. The others have not been to victory lane. We'll see how this will go here today in today's race. Check down the description for the timestamps of these division races, and it will be a lot of fun. And you know, it's called the Land of the Rising Sun. Who will rise to the top of the podium in these 4 races today? We're about to find out.
Hello, mustard.
It's more like hello mayonnaise.
Yes. So my Japanese is a little
rusty.
Dodge Charger pace car pulls off. It's time for 20 laps of racing here from Twin Ring Motegi. And race number 21 is underway. Let's go racing, drivers.
Oh, no, what was it? Ohio, Carolina. Hello, mustard. So my Japanese is a little rusty.
Make sure you're not talking with food in your mouth.
Konnichiwa, Kangalis. How about sayonara?
Nick Voiles going to lead the first lap as we're coming out turn 4. Of course, it was a trouble spot in our Buffalo Wild Wings Series race yesterday, where most of our yellows came off of turn number 4. Hopefully that will not be the case here today. And as soon as I say that, the yellow already is out. And looks like it was a trouble spot because Red Riding Hood is collected in this. Frida Suarez involved. Let's see what happened here. Red Riding Hood, 2-time winner this season, and I was just talking about turn 4. It's like Mandry Campbell and the 07. That's Ildo Sofika, who won last week at Charlotte. Gets turns Red Riding Hood around. And the 0 car gets a piece of it. Edgar Furling gets a piece of it. So does the Holden. That's Bill Littlejohn and Noah Parker, who gets a little nudge from Frida Suarez. Didn't take long for our first incident of the day. Of course, the weather has been near 60, 57 degrees, southwest winds at 7 to 8 miles an hour, sunny skies. A little chilly here in Motegi. Of course, like I said, we're on the other side of the world. This is also the last race for the Monster Energy Series drivers, because we will not see these drivers until 3 weeks from now in Washington. So they will be here in Japan for 1 more week, and then they fly home on their second off week. And my pizza is done. I'm getting ready to go get it out of the oven. While they take the green flag. Back to green here in Japan.
Shaving, cleaning fish. Can you do all that? Me? Margaret. Oh, okay. Can you do all of that? Me? Margaret. Oh. Oh. Ah! Yeah. Oh, yeah, because his mom said.
Damn it.
You can't go.
About that, I missed a crap. Okay, I did not. Sorry about my roommates when they're not listening to a word I'm telling them. Nick Foyle's currently not going to be in the playoffs, even if he goes to victory lane today. Nick Foyle's focusing more on the Foster Series for next season. Yellow for the second time today. Looks like Bo Van Gessen and Henry Williams, two of the full fronto cars. Noah Parker, Edgar Furling's torn up. Frida Suarez, Leslie Gornall torn up. Noah Parker has won some races in his part-time schedule. And looks like his day may be. So, tough. See how this incident gets started before I get another interruption. It's 3 wide.
In the backyard, and he's all like.
It's like Chelsea Richards bounced off Bo Van Gessen and just sent Bo Van Gessen in the wall. Then Brian Gomez gets turned by Ari Springer, and then she collects Mandible.
This
Caused a bit of a stack up here.
And she went, you can't hit a girl. And he went, I can too.
And it just caused a log jam. And the 095 gets jacked up in the air. Edgar Furling does not slow down and runs to the back of the Papyrus Games Chevrolet. And Bo Van Gessen is now out of the race. Tough break for him as we're at that midway point of today's race. We'll have
like that, and girls aren't. Really stinks.
We're about to have a file restart as I'm gonna try to.
And she's like, close your eyes. And then
I'm gonna try to take over my
baby dog's pants. And then like, kiss. And he was like, and then he opened his eyes and he saw he just kissed that baby doll's backside. The baby doll's butt. He was like,
Alright, back to green. While I try to commentate and listen to the story at the same time, which I don't know how I'm multitasking at once.
Sorry.
No, I'm fine listening to the story. I'm just trying to do both at once.
I'm sorry.
I totally don't care.
I had the cough.
I was loud.
Sorry, my throat is.
Get you some water, that would be better. Nick Foyle's currently the leader. Ricky Cervantes in second. Diego Marquez in third. Drivers out after that incident: Edgar Furling, Bo Van Gessen, and Noah Parker. None of those three are making the playoffs anyway because they're not inside the top 50 in points. I got a zit or something on my forehead, and Toby was like, "That's good."
I don't care that Aaron doesn't want to talk to me. That's just
Fine by you.
fine by me. She me with Danny Rice anyway.
Hopefully,
Besides, I'm about to get together with what's her face.
Already?
Mm-hmm.
Good for you, Steve.
Yeah. Now you can stop listening to her asking me to begging me to take her back. Was that what she was doing?
Yes, you're doing it because you know, I'm taking back, I promise.
And what did you tell her?
I didn't say a word, I just put it.
Yeah, just ignored her. Like, that is between
You and Steve.
and that is
It's like
between
Abigail
you and
Furling's got
Ryan.
some.
Don't put me in the
Middle.
It's like Abigail Furling's missing her hood on her Rabbit's Denny Chevrolet, so it's upgrade for her. Red Riding Hood has a lot of damage to her car. Bill Littlejohn's got some rear end damage on his Food Lion Chevrolet. So does Ilda Sofika, making her second start. Been a bad weekend for Ari Springer. Was involved in a wreck in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series race yesterday. Now this. Should have left one door open, one door locked. Probably will just leave that one unlocked. Ricky Cervantes trying to get his second career win. Comes into this race 13th in points. I believe he is the high. He would be one of the 16 drivers in this season's chase for the championship. Nice motivational bells as we're on the last lap of the race here in Twin Ring Motegi. Now Cervantes trying to get his second win. Trying to get a run, can't get it. Nicholas Voiles will get his first win of the season in his final start of the year. Nicholas takes first race here at Twin Ring Motegi. In his final start, Nicholas Voiles
Who?
will go to victory lane. Of course, Nicholas Voiles, the brother of yours, is the brother of me, because I am his brother.
Oh yeah, Nicholas Boyles.
He's the oldest of the three.
Mm.
Cervantes, Marquez, Marco Diaz, Scarlett Nelson, Esme Rizzo, Zoe Perry, Sydney Portex, Bridget Thomas, Michelle Furling, your top 10. Nice motivational belch.
Thank you.
As you look on down through the remainder of the finishing results, number of drivers had trouble today. Ari Springer came home in 19th. She was third in points coming in this race. Only 27 drivers. Red Riding Hood, the last car on the lead lap. Nobody finished a lap down or more. 3 drivers finished out of the race. Noah Parker, Edgar Furling, and Bo Van Gesset. So congrats to Nick Voiles. Time for race number 2 here in Twin Ring Motegi. Cut me another slice of my square pizza. Of course, last week at Charlotte, we had technical difficulties after the first race. And looks like we are going to have more technical difficulties here in second race. So 2 weeks in a row we've had technical difficulties. We do apologize for this, but Toby didn't accept the apology. Okay, NR, why did you crash on me? Hang on, we're having problems and Toby's screaming, that's good. Hang on, everybody. Yeah. So now we're in a delay. 2 weeks in a row we've had a delay in the race. Last week we had this problem. This week we've had this problem. God, I don't want to go 3 for 3 or Toby's going to be like, that's good! I'm happy you had delays. So let's get that fixed. So we're going to try to get back on the air. I do apologize. Do apologize for the technical difficulties. 2 weeks in a row now. And now Chrome attack for some reason. Hang on. Toby's yay, I'm glad you have problems. We're happy. We want you to have problems. Okay. Trying to get score 4 up. Sorry guys, my computer's been going low for some reason. I haven't been on this all weekend actually. I took it with me to go to possibly do some races. Unfortunately, that was not the case. Please don't crush me. There we go. So, come on, NR. Why did you crash on me? I was about to go to TV1. You decided to crash on me for absolutely no reason, making me angry. And Toby's laughing and jumping up and down like a dumbass. NR, don't crash on me. Thank you. Trying to get the TV1, you derping hyena. No! Alright. Apologies for the tag, but Toby was laughing, didn't accept the apology, and he started laughing. There's top 28. There's the rest. Riley Anderson with a bad qualifying time. Alright, let's get these cars going before I have another delay and Toby screams, that's good. I don't need another setback and Toby screaming, please get another setback. So Holden and Mitsubishi on the front row. Quincy Einstein went to victory lane last week. At Charlotte. Pace cars off, race 2 about to get underway after a little technical difficulties. We're green in Japan for race 2 of 4. Jacob Tutu about to pass Quincy Einstein for second here in the early going. Gonna take my laptop to get back on track. Saw a car on pit road. That's Makoto Tanaka. And of course, Makoto was back from her 1-race suspension for what happened in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series race last week at Charlotte. So it's not been a good homecoming for the Japanese driver. It's been a terrible homecoming for her. Hopefully she gets back in the race. And looks like she's not, I don't know if she had a problem or something. Broke down on the grid, and she's now out of the race. So a header problem, and that's a shame for Makoto Tanaka. Last week got suspended from the Monster Energy race. First race back, does not take the green, and does not get the start. That's a shame. Quincy Einstein trying to get his second win of the season, as he's getting closer and closer to becoming a dark horse for this championship. But could it be too little too late? We'll have to wait and see. The gal he's trying to run down is Ashley Reynolds. Reynolds has a, let's see, 12, 15, 19, 20, 24, 27, 28, 30, 36, 37-point lead over Quincy for 50th in the standings. 38 is June Einstein, 2-time winner this season. She's trying to get back in the top 30 innings for her win to count towards a spot in the playoffs. Flag is out. Wreck in the backstretch. Don't know who brought out this caution. Riley Anderson's got damage. So a weekend just got worse for Riley Anderson. Looks like Bell San Diego and Mackenzie Thompson spun on the backstretch. Looks like we had a wreck on the back straightaway involving Riley Anderson. Oh, Alice Kitchens was collected. Our Polster was collected. Did they try 4 wide? Because I don't think we saw that this weekend here in Twin Ring Motegi. Let's go to helicopter. Yes, they tried 4 wide. That was not going to work. There's the contact there. Hattie Swore did a great job missing that wreck. She got slowed down. So Alice Kitchen's got some damage to the back of her Alliance Truck Parts Ford Fusion. And it was just a stack up from there. And like I said, this is race number 21. We only have 5 more races left to go. We'll pull up our Wendy's race menu in just a second. Von Schweetz is out with an engine failure, so that just sums up Nathan Orman Motorsports this season. This was another home race for a Japanese driver. That would be Vanellope von Schweetz. So far, it's not been a good homecoming for the Japanese drivers. And they'll have to try again next time out at Castle Gorge in 3 weeks' time. And the 9 is the only one out of the race. 14 out of the race did not even take the start. Back to green. Deals to go. Annie McGinnis currently in 3rd. June Einstein's in 5th. Kelsey Hobbs in 6th. Should mention drivers that come into this race in the danger zone of losing their spots for next season are as follows. Zach Underwood. Oh, wait. Here we go. They would be Nicholas Dutch, Hattie Swore, Zach Underwood, Brooklyn Carter. That's 4. Caitlin Roy, Hazel Triggs, Tyler Henderson, Arlonzo Carrera, Timothy Grenville, Marion Jameson. Let me make sure that's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Megan Jones comes into this race on the bubble as far as possibly losing her spot. Samantha Greenville's got some damage to both sides of her Holden. There's Hattie Swore. Has not been a very good weekend for Hattie. Came into this race once in the danger zone of losing her spot in this series. Even if she does lose her spot in this series, driving for DVR next season in Buffalo Wild Wings series. But however, Hazel Triggs, this is not what she needed. And this could also put Vanellope von Schweetz in the danger zone as well. Imagine a former Rookie Bash winner not going to make it in. Paula Burr's got a little hood buckle on her Diet Coke Chevy Impala. There's the hood buckle on the 4. Has not been a very good weekend for some of these drivers. Jamestown's running 21st. Lisa Gonzalez will have a different scheme next week. So was Annie Einstein. Jacob Tutu has climbed himself nearly to the top of the points table. Came as race 17th in the points. This could put possibly Quincy Einstein into this season's chase for the championship. To continue his good form of late. And of course, all four Einsteins have now been to victory lane at least once this season. Quincy Einstein will be in the top tier of the Monster Energy Series next season. Of course, how the tiers will go will be the experienced drivers, which they will not have a rookie points. Leela Wakai was another one of those drivers in the danger zone of possibly losing her spot. But coming off turn number 4, another win for Quincy for the second week in a row. He will go to victory lane and win race number 2. And now Quincy Einstein, did he add himself to the conversation of possibly locking himself a playoff spot here in the Monster Energy Series? And how fitting. Sponsorship, Monster Energy, go figure. Jacob Tutu is continuing to move himself through the points table as he gets a nice second place result again. So Jacob Tutu is more than likely locked him on playoff spot. Good job to him. June Einstein in third. We'll see where this is going to situate her with that good result. Anna McGinnis fourth. Lauren Chamberlain fifth. Alexandria Van Dam sixth. Phil Hooper Katsura Mirwes. He came as the points leader. And depends what happened to Brittany White. I believe Katsura Mirwes could keep the points lead heading into next timeouts race in 3 weeks. Kelsey Hobbs and Allison Washington complete the top 10. There's a look at the rest of your finishing results. Samantha Maple gets 16th. 40 cars finished on the lead lap. Samantha Greenville was the last of them. And nobody finished a lap down. 2 drivers out of the race. Vanellope Von Schweetz and Makoto Tanaka, who did not take the start, had an engine failure. So tough break for those 2 ladies. That's going to hurt Tanaka even more in points. Last week had the suspension. Now this week doesn't even get the chance to race. That's a bit of a shame. So that's it for this one. Let's get ready for race number 3. Let's see who's going to take race 3. Let's make sure my NR game does not crash on me. Okay, it didn't crash on me. Sweet.
Drivers, to your car.
NR is like trying to be drunk, and yes, they're already in their cars. Ooh, Betty Johnson's on the pole again. And Betty Johnson with a single win, a second win would possibly put her in a conversation of making the playoffs. There's the top 28. Here's the rest. All right, let's go green flag racing, ladies and gentlemen. Because I know Annie Thomas put herself in the conversation of possibly locking herself a playoff position. As these cars now enter turn number 3 and 4. Pace car is going to go really up high and then swing down. So these drivers will stay here in Japan, enjoy their little vacation. Some of them will have to get back to the United States. to get ready for the Buffalo Wild Wings Series race next week. Green flag, we're racing here in Japan. Should mention Gwen Tennyson was fined $25,000 for what happened last week at Charlotte. Also for Jazz Sugartown, who has 4 wins this season. She came in this race 12 points back of 50th in the standings, which was occupied by Ashley Reynolds, who already raced in the race earlier. Oh, Lisa Simpson spun in the back. Has that brought out a yellow? Yes, it has. These drivers have already taken the caution flag. Some of them have already taken the caution flag, like Hannah Blue Jay. So these 4 racing it back to the yellow flag. Been a struggling season for Lisa Simpson and Outlaw Motorsports. And like we saw, Brooklyn Carter and Sierra Harris. Now, Carter came into this race, Brooklyn that is, as she gets loose and comes down into the double mint Chevy. Now, Brooklyn Carter came into this race one of those drivers in the danger zone of losing her spot for next season. Doesn't look like any damage to either car, so it looks like all 42 that took the start will take the green flag on this first restart of the day. Also, I should point out, Soraya Itmed, who didn't have a good result. Let's try that again. Soraya Itmed, who didn't have a good result at Charlotte, easy for me to say, did get herself out of the danger zone, but she came in this race 14 points ahead of the cut line. Or 3 points ahead of the cut line. Megan Jones came in this race on the bubble. And this could be a nightmare to see Daniel Voiles lose Megan Jones. Of course, remember, both the BK sponsored Toyotas were involved in that big wreck last week at Charlotte. But that may be a reminder that even though you're not doing good in points, you need to stay above that danger zone, or else you could be in big trouble. And Annie Thomas, of course, came in this race 38th in the points. And she jumped herself now inside the top 50 in the points. And now her 2 wins would count towards a spot in the playoffs. A 3rd win would tie her with Jacob Tutu. Emmy Lipson, the 92, trying to get her 2nd win of the season. Last week, Subaru went to victory lane at Charlotte. And for Emmy Lipson, it snapped her losing streak. She's now up to 112th in points, so she's safe for another season. But Subaru's come alive in the last couple of weeks. Oh, she got a little tight there, and Betty Johnson's going to swing by. Of course, Betty Johnson comes to race 7th in the points. A 2nd win for her would solidify herself a spot into the playoff. 1 second.
Oh, he goes, yes.
That's what she said.
I'm on that.
Oh, yellow. As soon as I come back and play a prank on Toby, the yellow is out for the 2nd time today. Holly Wilkins has got some damage. Sandy Stewart's back here at the rear of the field. Former winner this season, Sandy Stewart. What's she doing back here at the rear of the field? Unless she came to pit road. Yep, she came to pit road. Had an incident over here. Holly Wilkins had some damage. So let's see. Her and Sierra Harris. And, oh, Holly got in the Gwen Tennyson. Came down and spun the Lon John Silver's Ford Fusion around. Getting a report, the 80 came down the pit road for an unscheduled pit stop. Which I am not entirely sure what was wrong with the 80. That is a tough break for Sandy Stewart, however. Apparently she got a stop and go penalty. And looks like she's still on the lead lap. And Brooklyn Carter is now out of the race due to a suspension failure. So a tough break for her. And that means Brooklyn Carter is going to be more than likely possibly falling to Buffalo Wild Wings series if she doesn't start getting some performances better in the next couple of weeks. Remember that 50 car nearly made the playoffs last season. So we're coming to the one to go, or we're coming to the restart. For some of these drivers, their playoff hopes are looking pretty grim. Some of these drivers are already mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. Next week, it's Buffalo Wild Wings series as we pull up our Wendy's race menu. They are heading to Mexico City. Ignore it says Kentucky. They're heading to Mexico anyway. Then they'll head to Kentucky, even though I had Kentucky and Mexico City, but you get the point. It's Mexico City next week. Then the following week, we'll head to Kentucky. Monster Energy Series will be at Castle Gorge. Of course, I also should point out the AutoZone Amateur Series has relocated their race to Mexico City because of the glitches that happened with Milwaukee. Yellow is out. I believe we're going to possibly get back to green. Look out! Oh, look out. 76 just ran the 92 over. Apparently, we had a stack up here. Betty Johnson had to jam on the brakes, and Hannah Smith just ran in the back of the 92, and that caused the... Oh, now they're wrecking under yellow. Come on, guys. Slow down. Oh, that's going to take Emmy Lipson possibly out of contention for a good result. Chet Collingwood gives Samuel Fisher a little tap there for some reason. I'm starting to wonder if he was the reason for this yellow, because he's got a lot of rear end damage on his Boston market Chevy Camaro. More than likely, he would be the reason for this yellow. Oh, Sally Foster was also the other reason for this yellow. In a 3-wide situation with Erica Douglas and Leo Einstein. And Douglas was like the meat of the sandwich and spun the 91 out. Nothing that she could have done. And then someone got in the back of the 51. That's Driscoll. I forgot to change the driver. Manny Rivera's got a lot of damage. 92 Pit Road. Hannah Blue Jays now out of the race as a result of stack up. Tough break for Emmy Lipson, who was having such a good day today. Now the question is, does Betty Johnson have any damage on her machine? Because I don't know if she's got any. Might have a little scratch on the paint, but I don't think it's massive. But I have a 1-lap dash. Looks like the 76 is damaged pretty good. All right, here we go. Green and white. 1 lap to go. Out of the race, Chloe Erickson, Abby Goodman, Brittany White, the second in points, is out of the race. Hold up. I want to see why Brittany White's out of the race. I have a feeling we had a stack up under the yellow that I was not aware of. Oh, she was involved. I didn't see her collected in this. A lot of damage to the Sprint PCS Chevy. Oh, this would explain the stack up. Oh. Yeah, let's see who hit Brittany White. That's critical. Second in points out of this race. Oh, Gwen Tennyson's the one who rammed in the back of her. There's how Chloe Erickson's out of the race. She ran the back of Sarah Redmond. That would explain why Erickson's out of the race. As we're coming to green, it's been a rough year for Chloe Erickson. Green and white is out. 1 more lap to go. It's like Betty Johnson's damage isn't too bad. However, I can't say the same for the Lincoln drivers. Which that really should have been avoided if you ask me. And now Betty Johnson's going to be home free. Good present in her closest to get to a home race. Betty Johnson cautions out. Never mind, we're still green. Betty Johnson will win at Twin Ring Motegi. What's the yellow? Oh, Erica Douglas and Tyler Henderson crashed on the last lap. Race is over, y'all. And someone just rudely spun Erica Douglas out for really no reason. That would be Kevin Joseph. And Erica was having such a great day. She was in 8th when this happened. Then Tyler Henderson didn't appreciate Kevin Joseph and just ran the Dunkin' Donuts machine, collected Arlonzo Carrera, who got a lot of damage. Not sure what was going on between Erica Douglas and Tyler Henderson. Now we have a stack up. Race is over, y'all. I think Betty Johnson's about to go to victory lane before all hell breaks loose. Standings are indeed official. Kevin Joseph's been called to the big green truck for that little schmozzle. Why he decided to wreck Erica Douglas for really no reason. I mean, just hooked the Arizona Twisted Tea Toyota around and just costed Erica Douglas a great result. Johnson the winner, Betty Johnson. That is Hannah Smith, Soraya Edmond, the podium finishers. Amanda Scoutmaster, Leo Einstein, Truman X, Prima Rossi, Jazz Sugartown, Sally Foster, and Chet Collingwood. Well-needed run for Jazz Sugartown. Put her back in the top 50. Race. I didn't see how she was collected in this wreck. Let's find out before we go to our final race of the day. See how the 47 was collected. The 12 was getting impeded because she had a lot of damage. There's the incident with there's the Erica Douglas incident. Oh, and then she got the 47. I didn't think that was a whole lot of damage, but the black smoke of death erupted on that 47 machine. So, as we're gonna watch the pace car go zoom, 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 and we'll now come down the pit road. So a tough break for a number of these drivers, but Roland did finish the race. Emmy Lipson a lap down, everybody else out of the race. Final race of the day coming up. Bet you there's going to be some tempers flaring between Kevin Joseph and Tyler Henderson, because Tyler Henderson did not need a bad finish, considering he came as race one of the drivers in the danger zone of losing his spot for next season. Good grief. I bet he could not ill afford a bad finish.
Drivers, to
And now Gloria Tuck. Nope, Annie Thomas on the pole again. That 23 team has really gotten their act together in the last few weeks in qualifying, so that's a big plus for her. Here's the top 28. Here is the rest. Timmy Turner's starting at the back. Turner's more than likely going to find himself in a must-win situation as we're about to start the last race of the day. And with plenty of time to spare. Tyler Henderson's been asked to see the officials in the big green truck because he didn't say anything nice over his radio, which I'm not surprised about that. Oh, Quentin Honeysett's blown up. And he barely crosses the line, but now he's the first driver officially out of this race. So a mechanical problem, and it proved to be terminal. Gloria Tucker came close. Yellow's out. Oh, we had a wreck. And these drivers... Oh, Fernandez was collected. Better hurry before we have another problem. Looks like no, Fernandez wasn't collected. Who? See who caused this little incident. Okay, somebody was spinning up ahead. Who? Oh, that's London Jackson. One of the drivers who's a former winner this season was collected in this. Looks like she got turned by Brianna Knight. It's like she shoved the 5-hour Energy Toyota in the wall. Melissa Cooper gets a piece of it. Defending champion Rebecca Hawkins involved. That might take Rebecca Hawkins out of the hunt for the championship. Hopefully did the 23 not cause any damage. Oh, she was collected. Oh, great. Annie Thomas, who was leading this race, was involved. And she tried to slow down. So that more than likely would take Annie Thomas out of this race. And she ran the back of Brenda Evelyn. Gloria Tucker ran the back of Jessica Miller. I don't understand what's going through these drivers' minds knowing that, hey, yellow's out. That means don't hit anybody. This could hurt Annie Thomas, and she's out of the race as a result. That has given the lead over the Bouvier. So Annie Thomas's day is done, and she's probably going to be kicking herself for that. And Thomas came in this race 38th in the points, so she'll definitely take a massive hit in the point standings. I noticed Valentina Fernandez was also collected in this. Boy, a lot of drivers running well in points. Going to take a hit in the standings. Boy, we're going to have a shakeup in the points as a result of today's race, heading into our next race in 3 weeks. And Josephine Bouvier is leading. Out of the race, of course, valve issue for Quentin Honeysett. Annie Thomas out of the race, and we'll have to go to the infield care center as a result. 40 of our 42 cars on the lead lap. Gloria Tucker had to restart 37th after having to come to pit road to repair some of the damage on their machines. We talked about drivers who are trying to get closer to 50th in the standings. Well, Lauren Ekstrom, it could be too little too late for her in that 73. Where would her teammate be? Betty Barrett, currently in 18th. And Barrett has some damage to the back of her machine. Looks like must have been for that stack up we had. Tough break for Betty Barrett, who's trying to make the playoffs for the first time in a while. There's Abonia Mirmoez. Lacey Washington. This is a big opportunity. Luke Cage is going to take third. And caution is out. Kyle Sutton's coming to pit road. We got a problem on the way. The 9 car has spun. That's Akira Sakari making our first start of the season. Lot of damage to the One Main Financial Chevy SS. Looks like she was involved in an incident, this time with Brianna Knight, as the 27 got really loose. Sandy Watson got a piece of her. Now, hopefully we do not have anybody piling up. Ish Taylor's missing his hood. So is Zach Underwood. Kyle Sutton came to pit road several times. Not sure what was wrong with Kyle Sutton. That's a tough break for Kyle. 2 incidents two times he's come to pit road for a problem or had to come into the pits for a stop and go penalty, I believe. I think we're being told it was a stop and go. 2 of those caught both times on both occasions, he gets a yellow. This is not good for London Jackson because she came in 2 points behind Amber Whitecastle for the points lead in the Rookie of the Year honors. Nobody out of the race from that incident. Back to green. Once we're done here in Japan, we'll have the post-race show. Cody Smart and the gang will recap these 4 races here. One last look through the rest of the racing report. Have their final thoughts on Japan. And preview next week as the Buffalo Wild Wings Series drivers. When we go into road racing, we'll have a qualifying race. We'll have drivers that have been struggling trying to make races. We'll have 2 non-charter races, which will now count for points. And then we will have Buffalo Wild Wings main event following that. Well, we will also have the following week. We'll have the AutoZone Amateur Series will make their as cautions out. Looks like a wreck on the front straightaway. The AutoZone Amateur Series will be at Texas to make up their race from Milwaukee. Looks like the 82 Alien Sights involved. And she was collected with Gloria Tucker. 82 got a little loose. Or actually, 9 got tight, got into 82. Gloria Tucker just nowhere to go. And Tucker, who started second, looks like she's not going to have a good finish either. I'm going to have a 1-lap dash to finish off today's race. Look at these names who have not been to victory lane. Danny Rant, Maria Nowicki. They could be in this conversation to get a win. Don't count out Luke Cage or Annabelle Griffin. Josephine Bouvier came in this race in that critical 30th in the points. A second win might solidify her a spot into this season's chase for the championship. 1 to go. We will get the white flag next time by with the green. 1 more lap here at Twin Ring Motegi. Green and white are out. One more time. Lauren Ekstrom came into this race a total of 52 points back of 50th in the standings. This might just put her into the playoffs, providing she stays where she's at in points. Off of turn number 4, third win of Lauren Ekstrom here this season. Third win for Lauren Ekstrom this season. She wins the final race of the day. And now the question is, did Lauren Ekstrom do enough to get herself into one of the 16 spots in this season's Monster Energy chase for the championship? Her teammate came home in 4th. Jacob Tutu, we know, is going to stay in the top, will be in the top 10 the points. Danny Rand, 2nd place, well-needed run for him. Kimmy's race 70th. He'll take a good result. Luke Cage in 3rd. 4th for Josephine Bouvier. This could help her get herself into a conversation of trying to get a 2nd win. Ebonia Mirwes 5th. Maria Nowicki 6th. Annabelle Griffin 7th. And she finished ahead of White Castle, which means Annabelle Griffin has gained points on Amber White Castle by 1. And she will only be 1 point behind Amber White Castle for the Rookie of the Year honors. Boy, that's going to come down the wire. Cooper 8th, White Castle 9th, Ashley Reynolds 10th. That's critical for Reynolds because came in that race and at 50th in the points. There's a look at the rest of your results. 39 cars finished this race. Not sure what happened to Zach Underwood and Ish Taylor, but something tells me they had a little stack up here. Correction, I said it was the first start for Sakari. It's actually her 2nd, not her 1st. I'm sorry. She ran last week's race. But anyway, Zach Underwood, Ish Taylor. This is going to hurt Zach Underwood. This is going to definitely put him in these last 15 races in a must-win situation. Same with Ish Taylor. He's absolutely going to take a massive hit in points, and that's not good. Wyatt Beanstalk out of the race with broken brakes. Annie Thomas and Quentin Honeysett. Thomas could have won this race if she didn't run the back of another driver. So, bad news for Brittany White. She was trying to catch Katsura Mirmoes for the points lead with her DNF. Katsura Mirmoes, with his good result in his division race, he will more than likely keep the points lead heading into our next race in 3 weeks from the short track of Castle Gorge, which we were there for the AutoZone Amateur Series. We may actually have the AutoZone Amateur Series there at Castle Gorge for their 2nd race. Wouldn't that be, or for their 2nd visit up to the Pacific Northwest. But congratulations to our winners. For Ekstrom, did she do enough to get herself in the top 50? We'll have to wait and see. Did I save the race? I don't think I did. I'm double check to make sure I did. I did not. I will go ahead and do that now. But hope you guys enjoyed today's race from Japan, these 4 division races. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the PCSRA crew today. We've shown your full finish results. You will see your point standings in our pre-race show in 3 weeks at Castle Gorge. I wish all of the Monster Energy Series drivers, unless some of these drivers that are in Buffalo Wild Wings, like Wyatt Garcia, we will see you guys next week at Mexico City for our non-charter points events for the drivers who've been really struggling in points. Then we'll have our main event for Buffalo Wild Wings Series, and we'll do it again at the Kentucky Speedway the following week. And then they will be off, and we'll see these drivers back at Castle Gorge. We'll also have the AutoZone Amateur Series also make a trip to Castle Gorge to make up the Milwaukee event that was canceled. That will be their 8th race of the season. And then the following week, we'll have Just Monster Energy Series as they will be at Wine Country of Sonoma Raceway before we will see them, Buffalo Wild Wings, and the Amateur Series at the dirt track of Knoxville. But until 3 weeks from now for the Monster Energy Series drivers, I've been Daniel signing off. You've been watching another broadcast of the PCSRA. the best in racing since 2017. We'll see you guys next week at Mexico City for the Buffalo Wild Wings series. Goodbye.